Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. Ty here, and today I'm over at my mom's yard. And yeah, we have a little bit of a situation going on here. A couple of years ago, I planted some trees here, and unfortunately, they did survive. So it's time to fix that. So I've gone ahead and taken out the trees that were there before, and I've gotten new ones again. So I'm gonna do a little bit of edging, trying to clean up all of this, and yeah, let's see how this goes.
Now, first things first, I began with raking the lawn, also known as detaching. Now, this allows me to remove all the dead grasses from last season. This step is crucial to promote healthy growth and prepare the lawn for new seeds, because I'm going to be adding seeds at the end of this process. After some research and discussion with tree experts, and by tree experts I mean the sales associates at the tree store, I discovered that the combination of heat from the brick walls and the high amount of winds that my yard gets has probably affected the growth of these trees. So I decided to change the plan and revamp this area. Last year, I had used rubber mulch and old bricks that came with the house over 12 years ago. That's way too old, so it's time for a change. We started by using a water hose to lay out the design for the new edging. I wanted a little bit more curves this time around instead of just the simple and straight lines. Now, it's important to keep at least 5 foot distance between the fence and between the trees. Now, taking all this into consideration, I settled for a layout. Now, to keep things simple, I opted for a natural edging instead of a rubber edging. Using a shovel and a garden edger, I traced out the garden hose layout. This was a lot of work, but it was definitely made a lot easier because I watered the area a couple of hours before I began the work. Now, this allowed for the soil to soften. A garden edger, which costs about $20, is much easier to use than spade. I've seen a lot of people say not to bother with the garden edger, but yeah, I'm glad I have this edger. After tracing out the outline, I used the shovel to remove all the excess sods and loaded them up into my wheelbarrow. By the way, this wheelbarrow is absolute garbage. It is the Gladiator 5 cubic feet I picked up from Princess Auto for about $60. Anyways, I think I got what I paid for. We chose the Swedish Kalmuna Aspen because our house is the last on the block and there's pretty much nothing behind us. So we get a tremendous amount of wind, especially living in Salamabader. We need these trees to act as a windbreaker, so the Swedish Kalmuna, known for its tall and narrow growing habits, makes it ideal for creating privacy and windbreaks. It also has a beautiful, smooth white bark and vibrant green leaves that turn a striking yellow in the fall. We initially planted 6 of these trees, but only 2 survived. To fill the gaps, we added another one, as well as a red rocket maple and 1 nanny berry shrub. The red rocket maple is a compact tree with stunning red foliage that lasts throughout the season, and the nanny berry is a handy shrub that produces fragrant white flowers in the spring and bluish blackberries in the fall. Now, I think this is going to be a very beautiful sight during the fall months. When planting trees, it is crucial to keep at least 5 feet apart. Now, dig a hole twice the size of the root ball and plant them in the same depth as the root ball. I dug the holes, added garden mix as well as tree fertilizer and planted these trees. After planting, I used the sod that I had initially removed to backfill the holes and leveled it up with a rake. We've had a serious weed problem in this garden bed due to the empty field behind us and the amount of wind we get around here. This just blows pollen grains onto our lawn and yeah, it creates a recipe for weed to grow. Now, to tackle this problem, I have decided to use black mulch and weed control fabric. Using Vigoro weed control fabric from Home Depot, I laid the fabric after leveling the ground. Now, this fabric isn't ideal because of the heat and the sun it radiates, especially during the time when I was getting this work done. It was crazy. But it was the best choice for our needs because it would create the least amount of visibility on the floor. and will match with the mulch. You could get this in gray as well if you wanted. I made sure to cover every square inch of this ground and overlap the fabric sections by about 5 centimeters. Now this is to prevent any weed from growing in between any of these gaps. I used soil around the edges to secure the fabric. I was definitely not taking any chances, so I was willing to use extra fabric as needed.
Alright, so I ran out of mulch. So, as usual with every DIY project, you have to at least make it to Home Depot at least 2 or 3 times within the same project. So, this is my second trip to Home Depot. Picked up mulch already, so I'm gonna head back and put the mulch, rake out the place, put seeds all over it, and then water it, and we should be good. But first of all, I need coffee, so we're gonna stop at Tim Hortons and pick up ice cap with a shot of espresso. All right, let's go. With a shot of espresso, please.
Okay, let me just start your espresso here.
That'll be all.
Alright, coming up there. Thank
Now once this fabric was all laid down, my mom joined me in putting down the mulch. Once it was all done, I mowed the lawn with my Ryobi electric lawnmower. I've had this lawnmower for about 4 years now, and it has definitely aged not so well. It doesn't cut quite as good anymore, and I don't really enjoy using it to cut anymore. I've tried out the newer version of it, which has the all-wheel drive and self-propeller, and yeah, I think I'm going to be getting rid of this lawnmower pretty soon. I've actually just gotten a brand new smart robot lawnmower. Stay tuned for a video on that. I'm going to be posting it on the channel pretty soon here. Once that was all done, I then overseeded the lawn using Scott's seeder and spreader. But before I put up some seed, I made sure to use some of the sand or soil from the garden bed to try and level out some of these gaps. Now this wasn't enough, but this was not a project I was willing to tackle or take on this year, so I'm just gonna have to wing it this year and deal with this next year. And from this point on, it is all about watering. These trees need a tremendous amount of water, so about 1 gallon of water for every foot per week. So I went ahead and set up an above ground system since there are no underground sprinklers. I used the Orbit H206 gear drive sprinkler, which has 6 spray patterns, which is ideal for so many different use cases. In fact, I've tried so many different versions of this above ground sprinklers, and this one I've actually used it for 2 seasons and I keep loving it every year. Now this system can be daisy chained with multiple units to create a somewhat underground like experience. It uses spikes, which allows you to be able to just block it on any part of your lawn. I also connected the water line to a smart battery powered controller that automatically turns on and off at preset times, as well as a white splitter to be able to give me the additional flexibility of using the hose as well. In 2 weeks, I'm going to apply a fertilizer and monitor the progress. If you want to see how these trees and lawn perform, well, the trees is probably going to take 10 years, so we're in for the long run. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. I also have the new robot lawnmower, and I think this thing is going to be pretty cool, so make sure you smash that notification bell icon so you know once I pop that video out. Alright guys, I'll catch you guys in the next one, and thank you for sticking with me on this one. Take it easy, stay cool, peace.